Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers. I don't know what you're doing. I want you to get your mouse. I want you to check me out. And I want you to check me out. Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Hit subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab. Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things. You know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that done click the link, that done click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' grow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all.
I was riding around in the V12 with the rings in the mud. Had to pray to Almighty God and my dog got the channel. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up and got me losing my track.
What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go.
To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you, telling you.
Y'all tucked in? Yes. Here we go. Once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore pajamas and lived life slow. Yes, indeed. What's happening, good people? What's happening? I am clearing my throat. But aside from that, I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And yes, we are doing another show on tonight. And this is going to be a really good show because this is definitely in my wheelhouse, and I'm going to knock this one out the park. So, with that being said, I'm really excited to do this with y'all tonight. I want to give a shout out to some people up in the young chat. Let's see who I got over here in the VIP section first. In case y'all don't know, the United Guns of America is the VIP section of YouTube. But that is just my other channel, United Guns of America. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to that. If you have not, please do so now. It is Raybon over there. That's what's up. Tara D'Onofrio. Is that like the dude from is your name spelled like the dude from whatchamacallit from Law and Order? Vincent D'Onofrio? I think that is. But that's one of my guys, one of my favorite actors too. I love that dude. CJ Gunn, what's happening? I appreciate my mods. I really do. I got the best mods in the world. And Marcelichka. I hope I said that right. Please forgive me if I'm butchering your name. Please try to tell my head and not my heart. Please, please, please. Let's go over here to the relationship rehab side of things. Oh, we got them same people over here. That's what's up. Ray Bond, that's what's up. It's also one of the young membershippers. That's what I'm talking about. One of them rehabbers in the building. And we got Daquan Smith. We got CJ Gunn, of course. Amanda K. What's happening? Glenda Smiles a lot. What's up? We got Juanita. We got Smitty. We got Deluxe 247. King Cardell. What's happening, man? Hey, be safe out there on that road, bro. We got Crestline Iceberg, also one of that membershippers and relationship rehabbers. I see you. We also got UFO Kamikaze, my main man. What's happening? The SIP 601 in the building. And we got Chris V. We got, let's see, who else? Is that it? Oh, an Orchard Bird. Now, you know I ain't read no Roman numerals in a long time, but I'm going to take a guess and say the 14th. I think that's right. Yeah. Oxford, Orchard Bird, the 14th. I think that's it. But I just saw something on the internet and I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I was right. Yes. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. But am I correct in saying that Dipset was in a versus battle with Jadakiss and the Locks? You notice how I said that. Jadakiss and the Locks. Am I right in seeing that? I mean, man, look. There are just some things that are just unfair. I mean, I hope that didn't happen. I really do. Cause that's just unfair. For those of you who didn't just see Tommy on his show a few minutes ago, just like it was unfair for him to kick that Pro Black's ass the way that he did, that was unfair, bro. You whopped on that boy's ass for just way too long. It was just unfair. But I hope that Dipset did not think that they could really go in a battle against the Locks. Dipset attended a Locks concert, and did they have the nerve to rap? I'm just saying. I know they didn't do that. I know they didn't. I'm telling you like this. I'm not the biggest Locks fan. I'm not. I had like maybe the first 2 albums, maybe if that. So I'm not a really big Locks fan, but I do recognize the lyrical content of Jadakiss and Styles P. I will acknowledge that. I mean, I'm just saying, I do acknowledge their authority. I hope. Right, who's all in Dipset besides Jim Jones and what's the nigga that wear pink all the time? Cameron, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope that they didn't do that. Because that was just, unless they just did it just for the fans or something. They just wanted to get some excitement, get talked about a little bit. But yeah, that's like a no-go. I don't know. I guess some of these verses just don't get well thought out, number one. Because it's like who y'all matching up against. And then the other part is, a lot of these people don't even know how to replay their own music. Right. Jules Santana. Man, if y'all don't stop. Y'all don't stop. If y'all don't stop. Yo, we got my man Jules Santana. we got my man Cameron Jim Jones. Here we got Jadakiss. It's like you don't even just look, Styles. Just sit down. Don't even get the mic, dude. I got this. Yeah, all 3 of them, I got them. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and sit down, Styles. We go smoke you some herb. Go on and hang out. You know, just watch. I don't need you on this one. If I need you, I tap you in. But I'm not gonna need you on this one. I'm gonna tell you that right now. To me, I'm just saying for me, Dipset never really took off. I'm just saying, what is that Dipset song? What is that Dipset moment in time where Dipset was just the shit? Hell, even Vanilla Ice had a moment. I'm just not aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Just correct me if I'm wrong and tell me when it was when Dipset was just the shit. I'm just saying, because I don't know when it ever happened. I heard about them coming. I heard about Dipset about to. I heard about the release of the Dipset, but it never ever quite took off. And ain't they logo like some big bird with wings or some shit like that? Like, ain't the Dipset supposed to have like some eagle or something? Wait, the fact that y'all had the hot, I'm gonna tell you who the hottest nigga in Dipset was. Y'all know who the hottest nigga in Dipset was? I'm gonna tell you, the hottest nigga in Dipset was a comedian. It was the coldest nigga, the richest nigga, the most popular nigga in Dipset was a comedian. I'm just saying. Hey, well, I mean, just tell me if I'm lying. Stop me if I'm lying and just say, nah, B, you lying, man. You talking shit. I know y'all know this. Come on now. Yes, thank you, Top Flight. Top Flight of the world, Craig. Yes. This nigga, Cat Williams, was the hottest nigga in Dipset. Cat Williams was in Dipset. Y'all don't remember when they came out and gave Cat Williams his chain and he was official member of Dipset? He was the coldest nigga, the richest nigga, the funniest nigga in Dipset. The coldest nigga in Dipset was a comedian. I ain't never seen that happen before. I'm just saying. That's just like Rockefeller signing Chris Rock to Rockefeller, and Chris Rock wind up being the coldest nigga in Rockefeller. That's what that's like. You gonna be like, huh? That's like, that ain't supposed to happen. That's just like Cash Money. That's like Cash Money signing Eddie Griffin to Cash Money, and Eddie Griffin, the most sellingest nigga out of Cash. I mean, not Cash Money, but No Limit. That's like No Limit signing Eddie Griffin to No Limit Records, and he the hottest nigga on No Limit. Like, fuck P. Fuck Mystical. Fuck all them other niggas. Oh, nigga, that new Eddie Griffin album, nigga, about to go double platinum, nigga. I'm just saying, that's what it's like. That's exactly what that's like. The hottest nigga on y'all label, in y'all crew, was a comedian. And y'all rapping. Man, go ahead on. Well, we ain't talking about this. We ain't talking about this. Well, I'm not. I'm just not.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce,
I'm not.
distribute,
Right.
or exhibit
That's-
portions of copyrighted
like-
motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances.
Wait, I gotta
without
turn on my
authorization
fan. I wonder
of
why
the
I'm getting so
copyright
damn
holder.
hot in here.
This
Hold
is
on.
called
now.
fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
That's like that's like I'm about to run with this. Fuck it. That's like Ricky Smiley being signed to So Def, and he the hottest nigga on So Def. Fuck Chris Cross, fuck the Brat, fuck Lil Bow Wow, fuck Jermaine Dupri. Nope. That nigga Ricky Smiley, the dopest nigga on the label. I'm just saying, that's what it's like. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Anytime the hottest nigga on your label is a comedian, there's a problem. You have a issue. There is a whole entire situation going on internally that needs to be resolved. Because I'm telling you right now, Cat Williams was hotter than Cameron, and Cameron was the best nigga in Dipset. Y'all mean, stop me if I'm lying. Tell me, nah, you on some bullshit, nigga. You need to stop what you're saying. Just saying, that's what it is. That's all I'm saying. That's like Death Row having Death Row in its prime, and Ricky Harris is the hottest nigga on Death Row. Fuck Pac, fuck Dog Pound, fuck Snoop, fuck Dre, fuck all them niggas. This nigga Ricky Harris is the man. He the hottest nigga on the label. Just saying. Insane. But whatever. I don't know who thought of that, but next time, Dipset, just come to the concert where the Locks is at, take some pictures, wave to the fans, and if you're gonna do a song, please have the Locks exit the stage or take their mics so that they can't rap after you. Cause that's ignorant. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's move into the show. I saw that, man. I said, I know, not Dipset. I just kept saying that like, not Dipset. Like, no way. But I guess they did. All right, so Nashville, Tennessee, home of country music, home of Nashville hot chicken, and also the home of some shooting ass niggas, and one of them niggas got loose and shot up a job. He shot up a stove, and it's insane. But there's a lot of teachable moments in here, which is why I'm doing this, because I believe that this is something that can help people. And if you guys have questions while I'm going through this, please feel free to ask. I will try to answer them, because I'm going to cover a couple of aspects of this. Number one, I'm going to cover the active shooter part. I'm going to also cover the way that the police handled this active shooter, because there were several things that I saw that I did not like, and I want to point those things out so that people can learn something. So without further ado, did I do everything I was supposed to do? I got the chat up. I got that up. I got that up. I shared out the show as best I could. Yeah, I think we're rolling. All right, let's do this.
I'm Kristen Mumford with the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. This is a critical incident briefing concerning today's active shooter call at Smile Direct Club's manufacturing facility on Antioch Pike, in which 3 persons were wounded by gunfire inside the building. The shooter, 22-year-old Antonio King, an employee of the company, was fatally wounded during a confrontation with South Precinct.
22 years old. I guess here's my thing. Have you all noticed that we don't even get not necessarily shocked, but it's not even a thing for us or a moment of concern when young people get shot, especially young men. And I say that because 22, we look at that like, hey, he grown. But at 22, being an adult, you have not even begun to live life yet. You have not even begun to live life. And it's like, for somebody that age, that young, I mean, we get upset when we hear things like 12-year-old this, 10-year-old that, 8-month-old this, 6-month-old that. We will get upset over that. We'll be like, what? Who would do that to a baby? I get it. But you have to acknowledge, and I just wanted to take, because I miss it too a lot of times. 22 years old. is not. You have had really no real life experience. You're in the prime of your life when it comes to your physical health. You know, your just the things that you can do at 20 in your 20s that you ain't gonna be able to do in your 40s. But the whole life experience aspect, I think that we tend to just dismiss that sometimes. And it's troubling to me that even when we hear a young person at 22 years old, we don't even acknowledge it because we've gotten so used to 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds just dying. And like I said, more so young men than anyone, especially young black men. You hear a young black man die at 17, you like, shit, nigga died doing what he loved. Hell, I'll probably even say it. But it's one of those things where it's like, there is so much that I have experienced in life over the past, I'm 47. So let's just take 17 years. Past 17 years, you take me back 17 years from now. So that means I would be 30. I'm still 8 years shy. I'm still 8 years ahead of this young man that got killed. I can't tell you how much I've seen, how much I've learned, how much I've changed, how much I've experienced, and how much of a better person I have been over the past 17 years. And it's like, I wouldn't want to give that up for nothing. The life I've lived just in the past 17 years, I've been able to travel. I was fortunate enough to have 2 children. I was able to get married not once, but twice. So I married, fucked it up, and well, I ain't fuck it up, but it didn't work out. And then I got married again. And it's like the different jobs I've had in that time, the places I've lived in that time. I've lived in Chicago. I've lived in Michigan. I've lived in Texas. It's like the places I've been. It's like I would not give that up. I just wouldn't give that up. It's like, and yes, there's been some losses and stuff like that in my life, but it's been way more up than it has been down in just the last 17 years of my life. And we're talking about somebody who is at 22 years old, won't experience another 17 days, 17 months, let alone 17 years. They just gone. We take so much for granted. We take so much of life for granted as young people. As young people, it's scary. I was talking to my niece the other day. Had an amazing conversation with her. She's a young girl. She's 21, and she's in that space in her life where she's just trying to figure life out. She's trying to figure out, what she's gonna do, who she's gonna be, and all that good stuff. But I had to explain to her, like, now is the time that you have to, plan and sacrifice for your life so that you can have a better life later. I said, because what you want to have in life, and I hope if there are any young people watching this, you want to work hard and you want to sacrifice, and no, it ain't going to be all work, but you definitely want to make sure that you're being responsible and building those things up now when you're young, having the right mindset and discipline when you're young. Because when you get older, the one thing that you want to be able to have is options. The less you do when you're young, the less options you will have when you're old. If you want to have options and be able to make choices and do things that you want to do and all that kind of good stuff, you have to put in the work now so that you can do those things later. And that's one of the biggest things that I know a lot of young people don't hear. And I try to tell them that you want to work hard now sometimes so that you can have options when you're older. Because now when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. When you're young, you think you got plenty of time. And when you're young, you think you can do any and everything that you want to do. And it's just a matter of you having fun right now. I get that. But you have to have the discipline to have some type of balance to where you can work hard, have some fun, work a little harder, have some more fun, so that when you do get older, you're not put into a box and forced to do something that you don't want to do, or to be with somebody that you really don't want to be with, because you don't have any more options. Especially for young girls. Especially for young girls. Young girls out here wind up having to sleep with a man that they really don't want to be with, or that they really don't respect, and that they're really not in love with, and all that good stuff. Or they wind up having to do things that they never thought that they would have to do, like sucking a dick or bending the fuck over for a nigga that they can't stand, because they're out of options. You ain't got no money. You can't pay your rent. You can't feed your kids. You can't feed yourself, because of the choices you made when you were young and beautiful, and your melanin was popping. You now run out of options at 35. And I was so glad that she understood that, and she took to that. Shout out to Ruli over there on the United Guns of America. What's happening? That she took to that and understood what I was trying to tell her. I wasn't trying to come down on her. I was just trying to enlighten her and saying that, hey, this is what you need to do. Shout out to my boy Raylon Ellis. What up, boy? Me and Raylon go all the way back to elementary school. Man, my God. Thank you, bro. But it's one of those things where you got to realize, and our young people need to realize that, you know, beauty, your youth, it's all fleeting. And it's one of those things where you need to make sure that you're making the right choices now, so that you can actually have a life and have choices, as opposed to living a life of shoulda, woulda, coulda. I wish I'd have finished school. I'm going to try to go back at school. And you 40. Being a woman with 3 kids trying to go back to school at 40, you be lucky if you can get out of school and get a job where you making $50,000 a year. You be lucky if you can do it. So it's like having those options later on in life where you can choose to go and put yourself in a circle to where your dating pool is different. My daughter, my niece was telling me that, you know, she wants to be a hygienist. And I said, why be a hygienist when you could be a dentist? I said, you young, you 21. I said, well, she's like, I really love to clean teeth. I said, okay, be a dentist that has her own practice, and you love cleaning teeth so much that you clean teeth all over the weekends, and on Fridays you go to a free clinic and clean teeth. But be a dentist so you have your own practice and you can call your own shots. Don't be a hygienist working for somebody else where you don't have as many opportunities and options because you working for somebody else. You got some other dentist telling you what to do. You need that dentist to let you come back and work there. You got to hope that that dentist will hire you. Don't do that. Put yourself in a position where you have options. I said, you're young. And she was like, well, I don't really want to fail. And I said, sweetheart, you can fail right now and ain't nothing going to happen. I said, you can go try to be a dentist and in 3 years it don't work out. You know what? You're only 24. You got the rest of your life ahead of you to where you can try it again or try a different approach. I said, but you have to, don't be afraid to fail, especially when you're young. I said, you ain't got no mortgage, you ain't got no no kids, and you ain't got no husband or nobody that you have to be responsible for but yourself. So it's like, those are the things that our young people need to understand. And I told her, I said, work hard now, have your fun. I said, but this doing what your friends doing, or what young, not your friends, but what young people do, wanting to go and have a whole phase, hot girl summer, shot, because you got a bunch of men now that really want to just sleep with you because you're beautiful and you're young. I said, that ain't what all life is about. I said, you can entertain them niggas when you want to, but make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do, so you will have options when you get older. Because once you get old, ain't no going back. Trust and believe. I said, so you want to be in a position to where the Range Rover you want to drive, the $400,000, $500,000 house that you want to live in, the red bottoms that you want to buy, you want to be able to have that to where that's all contingent upon you and your check instead of a nigga somewhere that don't want to do nothing but fuck you first before he buy you anything. Or you got to scheme and smooth and finesse another nigga to get some shit from him. Put yourself in a position to where you can buy all that shit yourself, and that man that you with will enhance your life. He'll tell you, baby, you ain't got to buy red bottoms. That's my job. I said, but you won't meet that kind of nigga at the club. You won't meet that nigga at All-Star Weekend. I said, that's how y'all said you will meet people like that and real men like that when you're a dentist amongst other dentists. When you're you'll be amongst doctors. You'll be amongst lawyers because of your field. That's what you want to do. So, just my 2 cents. But I love the conversation that I had with my niece. I'm really proud of her, and I just hope that she understood what I was putting down and she makes the right choice. But let's go ahead and let's go. And like I said, it was just something that I just had on my heart for my young people. So, y'all get y'all shit together and don't be afraid to work, please.
Officers at the intersection of Antioch Pike and Franklin Limestone Road. The investigation indicates that King fired his .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol inside the facility without anyone being wounded.
Y'all see this motherfucker?
King then engaged in a shootout with the security guards through the doors of the facility. King fired more than 20 shots. The security guards and a manager were wounded. It is believed that King was also wounded by their gunfire.
This dude is letting it ride. Now, let me point out something real quick about this. A lot of people will see something like this and they will be thinking, boy, I wish I had my gun because I'd have shot that nigga. That's not what you want to do. If you at work and if you have a job to where, oh yeah, I'm about to hit them skinny jeans in a second. If you're at a job where you're fortunate enough to be able to carry your firearm or to carry your gun, if an active shooter like this occurs, you definitely need to take cover. You use your gun and pull your gun out when that active shooter is coming room to room. Like if he walked inside and he checking doors saying, I'm going to kill as many people as I possibly can, then you got to get it cracking. You're forced to go to work in that respect. Because if you're not tactically trained to go after someone like this, you shouldn't. Just because you got a gun don't mean you tactically trained. So let me give that disclaimer first. I don't care if you got a Zev Glock. I don't care if you got the best 45 or the best Sig Sauer, the best Beretta, the best Smith & Wesson with your RMR on the back and you got your sights and all that shit. If you have not been tactically trained, and I'm talking like law enforcement or military tactically trained to address a threat like this, it ain't no shame in going to hide. Trust and believe. Because you want to be here to tell the story, not for somebody else to be telling a story about you. You want to be tactically trained to address something like this. And if you're not, go ahead and take cover. Go ahead and hide. Because even in this aspect here, this is a very difficult threat to try to take out. Because you don't know how much ammo he got. You don't know how well he can shoot. You don't even know what the hell he's shooting. Aside from a handgun or a long gun, which you can see, but he has a handgun. The thing is that the doors that he's shooting into, he's shooting in the glass. Like in Die Hard, shoot the glass. He's shooting the glass. And the fact that there's no cover, there's only maybe some concealment to some degree, but you don't want to get into a gunfight with a person like this to where you don't have cover. In my mind, I'm tactically trained. As soon as I hear gunfire, my first thought is cover. That's just because I was tactically trained that way. Most people who watch TV and watch movies, you don't see that shit. The minute the motherfucker get to shooting, first thing where's the threat? Let me go get him. That's not what it is. You take cover. That's the first thing. And it's like if I'm in this situation, I hear some gunshots at 5:30 in the motherfucking morning, I ain't trying to shoot nobody. I'm just not. I want to do that early in the morning. I'm trying to have my coffee, trying to eat my donut. I just got a warm slice of coffee cake. I just opened up my Red Bull. I'm eating my bacon or something like that. I got me a sausage McMuffin. I just unwrapped my McGriddle. I don't want to shoot nobody this early in the morning. I just don't. Just don't. So it's like this is not something that you just automatically just being and even for those of the few of us that are sheepdogs, a sheepdog sometimes got to watch before he go run into danger. You got to see what's happening first before you go and try to neutralize a threat. Just popped in my mind, reminds me about the Walmart shooting where the guy and the girl walk into Walmart. They gunned up, but the guy walks in first. The girl is maybe about, I don't know, about a minute and a half behind him. But the guy walks in, starts shooting, getting it cracking. There's a guy who is a sheepdog who hears the shots, sees the threat, and he's going to address this threat. He's going to try to neutralize this guy. He has his gun, has it drawn, he's in cover, but he did not account for, because he didn't know that the shooter's girlfriend was about a minute and a half behind him. So he's plotting and coming up with a plan to go after this guy, to confront this guy, but his plans are thwarted by the girlfriend, who literally walks up, sees this dude with a gun, say, "Oh, you trying to shoot my man?" Bang, kills him dead. He didn't have a chance. Just that simple. Just that easy. You never know what's going to happen. And then you have that other Walmart shooting where the military guy, the soldier, who was just a dumbass, and I'm going to call him that because he's a dumbass and he knows better. He goes in to Walmart without his gun. Active shooter letting it ride. Bang, bang, bang. This nigga goes live or starts recording. First thing out his mouth is, "I'm at the wall like I forgot my motherfucking gun. I'm at the Walmart, they active shoot, it's a shooter in here and they shooting it." What's the point? You got a gun, carry your gun, because you never know what's going to happen. Do I want to shoot somebody at 5:30 in the morning? No. But I just might have a nigga like this, like Antonio, who going to show up ready to get it bussin'. Look at that. You see that? Little young nigga with them skinny jeans on, and he got to pull his pants up. Can't even take fucking... Have y'all noticed that these young motherfuckers, they can't even walk 10 steps without having to pull up their pants? And they think that I get the fashion aspect of it, but anything that keeps you from fucking moving, and then you want to go commit a crime, and you still want to have to take time to pull up your pants, you fighting, you got to pull up your pants. You shooting, you got to pull up your pants. You running, you got to pull up your pants. What the fuck kind of stupid shit is that? That makes no sense whatsoever. This nigga is actually shooting and busting at motherfuckers, shooting officers, security guards and everything, and this motherfucker got to stop and pull up his pants. Look. Dropping a mag. New mag. Coming back down. Oh, wait, gotta pull up my pants.
You wanna work for them, bitch?
Going to work.
The first 911 calls came in at 5:58 a.m.
Hello, 911.
We got a warehouse shooting in Antioch Pike. I can't talk because he's the gun.
Okay.
He's shooting everywhere.
Are you
Smile direct.
Are you at
Smile direct. I can't talk.
Y'all in that black lady? She like, "Look, bitch, I can't talk. I can't talk. Let me explain something to y'all. For those of you who may not know, if you ever call 911, please believe that they are supposed to do that. 911 dispatchers are supposed to ask you as many questions and get as much information as they possibly can. That's their job. It's not a thing to where they're being assholes or they fucking with you or they in your business. They are trying to gather as much information as possible, because usually you have the dispatcher who's on with the person, and then you'll have a dispatcher who's dispatching to police. She ain't putting your ass on hold to talk to the police like, yeah, look, we got 8 people over here. Hold on, let me ask them. Hey, ma'am, can you tell me what these went? They're not doing that. So she's beginning to ask questions. They literally have like certain things they need to ask to get this information. And then there's another dispatcher that's actually dispatching to the police what information that she's hearing from you guys, from the caller and that dispatcher. So that's how that shit is weird. And I know sometimes if you've ever called now, I know, so that's why I'm good with it. But you can, if you know what you're doing, you can tell them what they need to know without them having to ask you all those questions. Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that. So it's like, don't think that they're being dicks, or that they're being stupid, or they're trying to find out what's going on and keep you on the phone as much as possible so they can get as much information as possible to relay to the officers. And there's also a record of this, because this is being recorded. So later on in a court case or anything like that, that information that they have could definitely be something that's pivotal in a case. So she like, I gotta go, bitch. I gotta go. Listen to this shit. She gonna be like, I got to go.
Calls came in at 5:58 a.m.
Hello, 911.
We got a warehouse shooting in Antioch Pike. I can't talk because he's shooting everywhere.
Are you
Now direct.
Are you at
Now direct. I can't talk.
Now direct.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I don't know the physical address, but it's Smile Direct Club. 1530. 1530.
Yeah. Antioch Pike.
And you know what? Let me say this. Sometimes, if you're in a situation to where you call the police, and let's say you may be the only phone call. If you call the police and you can't talk, just leave your phone on. Make the call to 911. If you can't say shit, just leave the phone. Just leave the phone. And leaving that phone on, at least you're giving them some type of record of what's happening, especially in some shooter situation. Or you got a motherfucker yelling and wilding out or some shit like that. Just to give a record of what's going on. If it's a cell phone and stuff like that, they can eventually ping it and locate you and pinpoint that location to pretty much spot on where your ass may be at. But you definitely, if you can't talk, leave the phone on. Turn the volume down, whatever the hell it may be, but leave the phone on. Definitely. And I always keep my phone on vibrate, and my ringer's not on. If for some reason the call get dropped or disconnected, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's policy or not, I believe they have to call you back. And it could be in a situation where you don't need a motherfucker to call you back because your phone could ring. And that shit could alert the motherfucker who coming to get your ass. So I keep my phone on vibrate, on silent all the time. Plain and simple. I mean, the only time I turn it off is like right now so that I can hear like the donations and stuff and the dings or whatever that come through, just because I'll be missing so much that's going on because I'll be into the show. But I keep mine on vibrate, and I would recommend that y'all do that too. I have an earpiece. And man, I just got these AirPods. These AirPod Pros, boy. I got the Beats 3s. Those are good. They are, but I'm really, really liking these AirPod Pros. But that is something that you definitely need to keep in mind. Your phone being on vibrate, on silent, can definitely be the the difference between you getting snatched or life or death or somebody hearing you. So just something to keep in mind and think about, because I believe the dispatchers have to call you back, if I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking about that movie. Mr. Maxwell hit your boy with $10. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm thinking about that movie with Halle Berry where she called back and got that lady snatched because that phone rang. But I think that's what you have. I think they have to call you back. So
yes, ma'am.
We have a call.
I have an active shooter on.
Is someone injured?
Yes, there is a security officer shot.
They call back.
Okay, we're getting help out there, but please keep me on the line, and if you can, keep yourself as safe as possible. Okay.
Okay, I'm trying.
How many people are you with?
We cleared the office area, and we're trying to clear people in the parking lot. People's seeking shelter in between the vehicles. I don't have a head count, but there's a red car coming.
A red car.
He's still on foot, I believe.
You think the suspect's in a red
He's still on
vehicle?
foot, walking. The shooter has a green shirt on and a sling pack around his shoulder. And
now you see how she's letting him talk? She's letting him talk because he's giving pertinent information, very valuable information, compared to the black lady who was like, I got to go, I can't talk. It's a shooter here at the warehouse, and he's shooting up everybody. They shooting everybody out here. But he's giving valuable information, so she's going to jump in and ask questions where she needs to, but he's definitely giving valuable information. What he got on, where's he at, what he doing, all that good stuff.
He's walking beside the building currently, still shooting.
All right, just try to keep yourself as safe as possible. Again, keep me on the line. If you can't, just keep the line open, okay? When you say he's around the building, do you know which corner?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
Do you know which side?
Right off Antioch Pike Road, right the main road.
Okay.
Now, I am terrible at this. You know how when people are in certain buildings and certain areas, and part of it too because I'm like new to Texas too, but when people be like, yeah, he's at the southwest entrance, he's in the northeast corridor of he's in the southwest entrance of the, I am terrible at that. Now, in like Chicago, I'm very good at it because I know my directions. I pretty much got my bearings. I've been there so goddamn long. I'm good at it. But it's like, it's in some buildings and in some areas, I can never do that. I remember streets. I do remember that. I do that very well. I get my bearings by streets and landmarks. But there are a lot of people who are very aware of their directions and know if they're north, east, south, or west. When you given that type of information, make sure that you are very accurate. That's why I like to use landmarks and streets when I'm pinpointing stuff, because you gotta know where the police are going, where the ambulance are going, fire, whatever the case may be. A lot of places, if they really got their shit together, they will have entrances and buildings and things like their buildings. The entrances of their buildings will be labeled by letters. So you'll have like door A, door B, door C, door G, because they do that for when police officers arrive. And that was something we used to always recommend when we did active shooter workshops, especially when we did like when I would do trainings at churches and things like that. Labeling those doors give us as law enforcement a faster response time. Telling us to come to door G to get access to the building because you got somebody waiting there already is great. Telling us that the shooter or the stabber or the problem is at door G or door C, that's great too, so we know where the threat is. He's in between doors E and F. That lets us know what we're looking for, so when we do get there, we know, hey, main entrance is door A, and we go clockwise around the building to see what other exits there are. And also having those doors marked with reflective letters that are about maybe at least 4 to 8 inches easy. So at night, if you're approaching the building, you can flash a light, and if those letters are reflective like they should be, you can see exactly where you're going, and you'll know what door you at. talking to your partner. Hey man, I'm at door A. I don't see anything over here. I'm heading to door B now. That kind of stuff. And your partner rolling up and seeing what door you just left or what door you're going to, say, yeah, I see you at door B. I'm over there heading over there right now. That kind of stuff makes a huge, huge difference.
Oh, I see the cops topping the hill.
Okay, just stay on the line with me until you can make contact. Just try to keep yourself safe as possible. Let me know if anything changes, okay?
Yes. So he's in the grass.
In the grass?
Right beside the road where the cops are coming.
Right by the road? Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Right by the grass where the officers are coming by. All right, just stay on the line with me, okay?
Okay. Hey, ma'am, stay. Y'all. No, don't go in. We got an active shooter.
Yep.
Yes, he's still on the premises.
Make sure y'all click that like button. Now I'm gonna do this too, just because it's just in me. I just know I have to do this. For those of you who don't know, the 3 rules in an active shooter are run, hide, and fight. And the reason why it's run, hide, fight is because the first thing they want you to do, if you can get away, like that lady who may just now be getting to work, or the black brother that's getting to work late, with this shooting going on, he or she who's outside the building can run. If there are people on the other side, the opposite side of the building, they can run and get out. Okay? If you are in a building and the threat is near, that's why they tell you to hide. That's the second part. Because you can't always run out the building. It may be one way in, one way out, like the Carter in New Jack City. So it's like, if you can't run and get and leave the building safely, not saying, oh, I see him, he 10 yards over that way, but he looking left, I'm going to try to go right and run past him. No. If you can see the active shooter or you can hear the active shooter shots close by, you cannot run. Don't run. Don't run. Because if you do that, then now you're making yourself a target, and that will give you, and that can get you potentially killed or someone else killed. You could then turn the shooter's attention to yourself and maybe others that are close by you. What the fuck? Look, you see what this is why I hate niggas. This is why I have such a severe allergic reaction to niggas. So now this dude, and we all know that this ain't Kevin Samuels, but this nigga decides to come over here and troll. And trolling we talking about something that is very important. Life or death situation for a lot of people who aren't privy to this information, who just don't know. And that's what I'm trying to do to help this person feel this is the time to come over here and say, so you are the guy everyone telling me I be on that other jealous guy show talking about me. You guys should grow up. Why are you over here? Not talking about you, sir, and whoever you consider yourself to be trying to defend. Why are you over here standing up for another man? I don't understand that. You women raised men are the worst. I'm telling you, take your worst ain't shit bitch that you can find, and you niggas are 10 times worse. You women raised men are the worst of the worst. Makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. But, oh man. But anyway, moving right along. The last one, we did run, we did hide. The last one is fight. Let me finish up with hide. When you do hide, you want to hide and barricade yourself into somewhere that is safe. So somewhere where you can't be seen, somewhere where access is difficult or nearly impossible if you can, and you want to do that in case you do have a shooter that's walking the halls and going down the hallway trying to shoot any and everybody that they can. You want to do that. So here's the other part to that is fight. Fight is the last resort, because if that person does get in that room or get to where you barricaded in or gets close enough to where now he or she can cause you grave bodily harm, now you have to fight. And when you're fighting for your life. You throwing staplers, you throwing fire extinguishers, you deploying fire extinguishers, whatever you can to disorient or to stop that threat. If you are a person who have a gun, this is where you use your gun when you get to fight, to the fight stage. So always remember that. First thing you hear that first bang or you see that first slashing of the knife or whatever it is, run, get away completely. If you can get out of the area, you do that. And if you can't run, then you go hide and you barricade yourself into a room or closet, whatever the case may be, where access cannot be easily gained to that area. And last but not least, if that shooter or that attacker is able to circumvent that barrier that you have, you fight, and you fight for your life. Run, hide, fight. And there so ended the lesson. Let's go.
Come along with me, okay? Thank you so much for staying calm.
Absolutely. So he's in the parking lot, the warehouse beside us now. So he's walking towards the street.
East side, small direct, okay? He's in the street.
Okay.
You see him with him?
Yeah, he's walking down the sidewalk on the side of the road now.
Sidewalk, okay. All right, again, just keep me with you until we can see if they make contact. And what kind of, was it a handgun, long gun? Could you tell?
Yes, it was a handgun.
Very good question.
It's all he's got multiple clips in his sling pack because he keeps replenishing bullets. I've probably heard 20 rounds.
Okay.
And here's my thing. This guy has a 45, but he has the extended clips. Most 45s or 1911s, whichever one you may have, you could have a Glock 4. What is that? The Glock 24 or the Glock? I think it's the Glock 24 or Glock 28. I don't know. But if you got most 45s, because the bullet is so big, usually they have maybe Glock 21. Thanks, Wolf Bear. Usually you have maybe 7, 9, high end is maybe 11 or 12 rounds. You know, unless you get into some big dumb shit, but usually that's where it's at. Usually maybe 7 to 11 rounds that you have with a 45. But if you buy an extended magazine, you could probably stretch that out to maybe 16, 17 or something like that. Thing about the extended magazine is that it is added weight, but it does give you more firepower. More rounds. So it's like, that's essentially what you want to carry it for. Right, 13 plus 1 for the G21, okay, 14. And that G21 is pretty big. That's a pretty big fucking gun. If you ever see it, that's a very hefty piece. If you got some big ass football hands, some shit like that, and you can, carry something like that, then cool. But average person, that's a pretty big gun to carry. It's not just big in the lengthwise, but it's wide. It's a very big gun. That is a gun that's made for people who just get really big hands. Just saying. So, it is what it is.
And swing. Okay. Again, just thank you for staying along. Let me just make sure they make contact with that suspect. Is he still walking away?
So I would not recommend this gun to Kwame Brown.
Police officers engaging him on the sidewalk now.
Okay.
Ain't shit.
All right, there. Yes. Okay.
He's continuing to walk away from him.
Now here's where it gets real interesting. Mrs. June Bennett said, if a private citizen is there with the gun, also, what are their rights in taking him down with that person? Let me answer this for you. That's a very good question. So, Ms. June Bennett says, Brian, if a private citizen is there with a gun also, What are their rights in taking him down if that person is able? Their rights are there well within their rights to do so. Unless you're in one of these wonderful blue states where you have to have a right to retreat first, and you have to be in direct threat. So somebody else's life has to be in grave danger. Life or death situation or grave bodily harm. If that's not the case, so let's say if this person was just walking around with that gun and wasn't pointing at anybody, you can't just go take that motherfucker out. You have to retreat first. You have to have the duty to retreat, and which I think is just a bunch of bullshit, but whatever, give somebody a first crack at your ass. I don't like that. But in most red states, I would say, or most pro 2A states, they are usually saying, hey, you see a threat, neutralize that threat. If that person is shooting rounds at somebody or someone else and you can take that motherfucker out, you take that motherfucker out. So, but you should, like I always say, niggas don't know the law. This is one of those things where you need to know your shoot and don't shoot laws in your state, because it does vary and there are a lot of caveats state to state. So this is one of those things where you definitely should know what the rules are in your state, because every place is different. So definitely do that. And for those of you that are watching, please click that like button. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them up, get them up, get them up. Now this is the police officer arriving on the scene and going after the shooter.
Sir, do not approach anyone.
Stop! Do not move! Drop the weapon! Drop the weapon! Drop it now! Drop the weapon! What are we doing? Drop the weapon! Drop the weapon! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move!
Yeah, buddy.
Back up first!
Mm-hmm.
Back up! Do not move!
Thank you. Boy, I
Where's
love
the
y'all.
gun?
Y'all seeing it
Oh,
already.
Okay, all right.
Stop, man.
So let me address two things real quick. Number one is I saw in the chat, who put that in there? They said blah 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 blah. What did I see? George Zimmerman. Yeah. Who put the thing right? Buffalo Black put in the chat, said, remember, George Zimmerman instigated a conflict and murdered, all legal, and murdered, I guess, Trayvon Martin, all legal. That's the thing. It's like what he did and what went down. Number one, he was the only one to tell the story. Note that. Number two, I tell people this all the time. Don't go anywhere or be anywhere where you can get into a conflict where you gonna stand your ground and you don't have a gun. You go to a grocery store, you go to a restaurant, you go to a nightclub, you go wherever the fuck you gonna go. When you go out in them streets and you don't have a gun, don't try to stand your ground. Motherfucker talking shit to you, they punking you, robbing you, they gonna, slap you, bite you, whatever. Try to leave, run if you have to, get in your car, get the fuck out of Dodge, do that takeoff low running shit like Richard Pryor said, get down up in here. Whatever you need to do when you don't have your gun, get the fuck on. Plain and simple. Because that's how you live. It's about survival. When you don't have a weapon, you are trying to survive. When you don't have a weapon, you are a lamb. Plain and simple. If Trayvon Martin had been taught, boy, don't you try to fight nobody, you ain't got no gun, run the fuck home. run the fuck away. Somebody fucking with you, somebody trying to detain you, trying to stop you, take the fuck off. Because that thing would have been a whole different ball game if he would have been carrying a gun. Just like that kid who was walking in that white neighborhood and was talking with that white girl or whatever, and she went and got her neighbor, and the tough ass motherfucking soldier came outside, big buff dude, like, you better leave now, get out of our neighborhood, and all that shit. When you got that iron and you can match that motherfucking threat, you can match that force, it's a whole different ball game and conversation. No, it ain't that you gonna be the supreme being and gonna win all the time, but it changes the whole entire game. A motherfucker walking up on you, putting their hands on you, telling you what the fuck to do, especially them not being the police, that's exactly why you need to have a gun. Because if Trayvon Martin would have had a pistol and blasted motherfucking George Zimmerman, he would, number one, to still be alive. Number two, he'd have been well within his right to do so. He'd have stood his fucking ground. Dude was following me. I didn't know who the fuck he was. And the dude walked up on me and put his fucking hands on me. So I shot him. Like the little kid in Harlem Nights. He was gonna kill us, so I shot him. That's exactly what that is. Ahmaud Arbery, same thing. Whether he was trying to steal some shit out of that house or whether he was just going around fascinated by the construction and the architecture. Had he had a gun on him and them dudes got out that fucking truck with that shotgun, he could have blasted them motherfuckers. It feels like I'm busting a nut when I open you up. He could have hit their ass with that natural born killer and laid them niggas down. Y'all confronted him with a gun. Fuck y'all think y'all are? Y'all trying to be the posse? Okay, let me shoot you down like they did in Posse. How about that? When your ass get shot down and they had that clock open up like Big Daddy Kane did in Posse, nigga, and that little ding, 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 ding. That's what happens. But when people think that you ain't got no gun and they think they can just run up on you, they will. Just like that couple out there with that snow shit. Talking cash shit to that motherfucking neighbor until he came out with that iron and got to shooting motherfucker. Then it's, oh Lord, please call the police, help. Except for that bitch, she was shot and was still talking shit till he killed her. He said, yeah, now talk, bitch. That's what it is. People are stupid and they do stupid shit. I'm not talking crazy to no motherfucker who got a gun on me. Who got a gun that ain't holstered. I ain't talking shit to none of them. Just like that motherfucking dude outside with the trash and shit. And they out there talking and dude had a fucking shockwave sitting like this. Like, you ain't gonna touch us. You ain't gonna touch us, I tell you that. You better not walk up on me. You better not walk close up on me. You better not touch me. You better not do anything to me. I ain't playing with you. You better back up. You better back up. You better back up. And that motherfucker kept on coming. And what'd he do? Rocked his ass. Next thing you know, the woman, wow, that woman laying there doing that shit. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Motherfuckers see all this shit as they think it's TV and they get caught up in their feelings and they talking all that shit until them things come out. Then it's that's how it happens. That's why you need to have them things that can come out so you, in case you gotta bang out till your brains hang out. Because people think that they could do and say whatever the fuck they want in today's world because it ain't a motherfucker that just hit them in their mouth. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until the motherfucker punch them in the mouth. They do. They do. Talk that shit if you wanna. And it's like I can tell you one of the things that I've noticed here in Texas. Yes, I've seen confrontations. Yes, I've seen people talk shit, but it's a little different here than it is like in Chicago. It's just a little different here. It's like they talk that talk, but they kind of like back up a little bit. It's just a motherfucker saying they mind like, hey, you piece of shit, you motherfucker, you shouldn't have did this. Why, who the fuck do you think you'll see that? In Chicago, motherfuckers be, boy, I beat your bitch ass. You get that in Chicago. Now I'll whoop your whole ass, nigga. Fuck you think you talking to, nigga? I'll shoot your bitch ass. That's what you have in Chicago. Why? Because it ain't as many motherfuckers with them pistols there. That's legal where you think everybody got a gun. See, here in Texas, you think everybody motherfucking got a gun. Whether you 19, 9, or 92. What motherfucking Nat King Cole say? From kids to one, from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, shoot these niggas before they shoot you. That's what the fuck it is down here. Everybody think that. Shit, I don't care how old you look. You can look like an old player. You can look like an old punk ass nigga with some motherfucking glasses on and shit. But I'm gonna think you got a gun. Because that's what it's like here. The culture here is like that. And it should be like that everywhere. Oh, my man Michael Parkinson came on through and became a motherfucking platform supporter. I appreciate you.
I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new.
Yeah, he on a new level. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks to the mods who showed him how to do it. Appreciate you. So it's like, that's just what you got to think about. You got to consider that. Now, getting to this motherfucking police officer. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. These police officers, a couple of them was very sloppy. Number one, and I've had this question asked before, to chamber or to not chamber around. And shout out to my boy CJ who don't chamber around. I hope he's changed his philosophy, but if he doesn't, I still late, bro. But people have this question the way they say, man, should you carry with a round chamber or not? I've always said and have always been a proponent of chambering a round. Chambering a round. This police officer here does not have a round chamber in his firearm. And I almost want to say in some departments, you don't have that fucking choice. But if they do, if you don't, to all my people out there that carry a gun, you should always have a round chamber. Number one, unless you got some bullshit ass high point. I don't know if my man, whatchamacallit in the chat, my high point fan. But if you got some bullshit ass high point, but if you have a well-made firearm, you ain't got to worry about your gun going off unless your finger's on the trigger. That's a discipline. Trigger discipline is critical. You don't put your, and it's like, it's a very simple habit that if you take some time and develop it, you'll be fine. People are afraid of their gun going off, and people are afraid of accidentally getting the trigger pulled. Here's the thing. In my home, I keep my Glocks, because I have Glocks and Berettas. I keep my Glock. Those are like my carry pistols, my service weapon, and my 17. Because the safety, and a Glock has, I believe, it's four safeties altogether. But if I throw this gun down the street, if I drop this gun off the roof of my house, it won't fire. It won't. I can kick it, I can bite it, choke it, stab it, and it won't fire. Until I put my finger inside this trigger wheel here. That's when it's dangerous. This gun ain't gonna do shit like this. I can shake it. Hey, I can do all that shit. It ain't gonna do nothing. It's not until and I've created this habit. And you talking about somebody who's only been carrying Glocks since 2015? I want to say 15 or 14. I want to say 15. Yeah. That's when I got on the force. Yeah, 15. But when you're talking about this, they do have a safety. They do. So I used to say that same thing, man, that Glock ain't safe. Until I got educated. Shout out to my man Sergeant Corey Hunt. I appreciate you. It wasn't until I got educated on this firearm to really understand what it is. It's just different. But it works. And it works very well. This gun will not shoot until you put your finger on that trigger. There's a safety right here on the trigger. It's a little button. That gun, if you pull the side of this trigger, it won't move. You pull the other side of the trigger, it won't move. It will not fire until you put your finger on that trigger. Because there's a little button there that you have to depress to do that. Other than that, it accidentally going off because you drop it, all that shit, it won't fire. I've seen it. I've seen this gun drop, thrown, kicked, whatever. It won't fire unless you put your finger on that trigger. So, first lesson I learned is that I keep my finger right here where the ejection port is. I keep my finger right there every time I touch this gun when I'm handling it. It's a natural habit. It is muscle memory. They have a safety. It's called a trigger safety, Eric. Look it up. The thing about this Glock is I keep it in a holster. Both of them. So I keep this one in my holster here. Even when I switch up and I carry my Beretta as my primary, I have a Serpa holster that I put my Glock in. My Glock 22, which I keep here in my office, it stays in a Serpa holster. Ain't gonna fall out or nothing until I push that and boom. It's natural. Locked, safe, can't be fired because it's here. That's one of the things you have to remember. So with that being said, even this this holster here that I got, it keeps the trigger covered. So you can't accidentally bump it or get pulled or anything like that. So with that being said, that's one of the reasons why you keep a round chambered, because when you get out or you have to shoot your gun, the last thing you want to do is to have to take whatever it is. It's only point such and such milliseconds to chamber a round. You don't want to have to do that. You just don't. Because in a gunfight, the thing that matters most are seconds, your time. One of the most important things. This guy here, because you can't forget to do this, but this guy here, look at how long he's walking before he decides to chamber a round.
You're not approaching anyone.
So he's driving. He's going to get out the car. Gun is out, so that means there is an imminent threat. There's a threat around. Gun is out. He's fiddling around. This guy could have been shooting back, and he wouldn't have been able to do shit. See how long he's got this gun out? Still ain't realized he needs to chamber a round.
Sir, you're not approaching anyone.
Still ain't realized he needs to chamber a round. Now he just realized it. Do you know how much could have transpired from that time where he pulled up to where he had somebody with a gun and to where he got out, running behind this guy, fucking around with his microphone and all that shit with the walkie. Then he's already in pursuit of this guy. That guy could have started shooting him at any time and he would have been fucked before he actually chambered around. Exactly, Wayne. Imagine if he was the only guy there and the dude was shooting at him. He'd have been taking fire and trying to chamber around, trying to rack his slide. Don't walk around with your gun without having a round chambered. It's like you almost ready. You ain't ready. You almost ready. You still getting ready. And the thing is too, he does this, and after all the rigmarole is over, what he gonna have to do? He gonna have to pull the magazine out, rack the slide, take that round back out, put his gun down, take that round that came out the slide, put it back into the magazine. Then he go take the gun, put the magazine back in, and he gotta drop the slide. You see, I don't do this shit. drop the slide release, then he got to put the magazine back in. It's ridiculous. It is an unnecessary task. Train yourself to keep your gun chambered. Period. You shouldn't even fuck around. You're not even fucking around with your gun. Unless you're doing a safety check or a press check, like every morning. When I get my gun, I put my gun on, I will do a press check. I'll drop my mag, pop my mag, do a press check, make sure there's a round chamber. It's a habit. That's what I do. But other than that, I don't pull that motherfucker out no more. Until the next morning. Just saying. But that dude was already done shot off 20, 30 rounds already. He looking for it. He ready to get it cracking. And let's just say his intention was, I'm going to shoot me a motherfucking police officer today. That dude there wouldn't have been ready. He'd have got fucked up.
Stop! Do not move! Drop the weapon!
Now
Drop
my other thing is, why are these two motherfuckers so close together? I don't understand that. They are like right next to each other, him and this other officer. You're going to really get to see it when they pull the second officer body cam footage. You're going to really get to see it.
Now! Drop the weapon! What are we doing? Drop the weapon! Drop the weapon!
And here's the other thing too. Dude, you have a long gun. My man to the right up here. This guy here, you got a long gun. If you have a long gun, motherfucker, you don't have to even be that close. But the thing is too, you want to, and not to say that they got to be 50 feet apart, but you should be a little bit spread apart because of a couple of reasons. You never know, like these police officers here, who's rolling up, who's going to potentially be behind that target that you're shooting at, to where you may not have a clean shot, or your clean shot could become an unclean shot. Somebody could be moving, somebody could be driving by, and you may not be able to take a shot, and with your partner being so close to you, they may have that same disadvantage, which is why you want to spread out just a little bit. Being about maybe 8 to 10 yards apart or some shit like that, you can still hear and communicate, and you have a long gun, so you don't have to be right up on this motherfucker. Just saying.
Do not move! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move!
That motherfucker moving, ain't it?
Back up! Do not move! Do not move!
Now he's not doing that. Just so y'all know, don't think that he's like being an asshole. This is just him getting shot. This is just how it is when you get shot. You have involuntary shit. The shit is hurting. You in pain, so you will naturally do that. But this dude is actually gonna get hit, and he gonna like think he about to get back up. He think he's still in the fight. Watch.
Drop the weapon! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move! Do not move! Back up, Bear! Back up!
He basically laying down telling the cops like,
He broke my collarbone! Do not move! Do not move! He broke my collarbone! Oh, okay, all right. Stop, man!
look. Now the initial shock of him being shot, now he's on some other shit here. Look.
Don't resist! Stop resisting!
He's literally fighting the cops.
Goddamn rules, nigga!
Look, talking shit.
Give us the other arm!
Problem that way.
Give us the other arm!
Draws and shit is out. He's literally resisting. Look. So a reason why I wanted to show this and talk about this part is because you hear people all the time talk about, he shot him too many times. That was too many shots. You ain't got to shoot him that much. You shoot him once or twice and that should be more than enough. Nope. Wrong. 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 When that adrenaline's pumping, you don't know how strong this motherfucker is or what this motherfucker's gonna do. You don't know if he's on drugs or if he's not. That's why you keep shooting until the threat is stopped. Now, once he walked up on him, and if he dumped 3 more bullets into him, now that's some fuck shit right there. But you keep shooting until the threat stops. That's exactly what happens. Even when his collarbone broke.
He broke my collarbone.
That motherfucker still fighting. His collarbone wasn't really broke. I just like playing that shit. But that's just what it is. You don't know how a person is going to react to gunfire because you don't know what they own or you don't know what kind of adrenaline dump they're going to get. Fighting like a motherfucker. Bronx side says, fuck that, empty the clip. Hey, you know what? When you have a gun like a Glock, or if you have a gun that got 16 shots in it, 17 plus 1, 15 plus 1, even a 14 plus 1, in all actuality, that's a lot of rounds. It really is. It's a lot of rounds. And shooting that long at something and it's already stopped, it's a moot point. It's like there's no reason for you to do that. And that's why I'm in perfect support of the rule of you shoot until the threat stops. Once that motherfucker go down and it stopped, then it's over. Because it's like that's a lot of bullets. If you ever get to go next time you at the gun range, get you a 17 round mag or 18 round mag or something like that and just pull the trigger, not fast like blah blah blah, blah, but just boom 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 and just see how long it takes you to empty that magazine. It's some time.
I was 10-4. So we still need an ambulance for the suspect. Officer, 10-4.
Now he's administering first aid and he's running back to his car to get the first aid kit, so that he can. But what you're about to see next is you're about to see the body cam footage from the third officer who was with them. And when you see this one, this was the biggest one. This was the one I had the most issue with because I'm gonna point out a couple things. This officer right here. Officer Cheryl Kinchlow or Ken Chloe. But my thing is this particular officer right here does nothing but support my theory and my saying of women do not need to be the police out in the field. Don't need to be. Watch what she does and watch how she's out in the field. This is her catching up. Gun. Why are you aiming your gun? And you see how far back she is from her partners, let alone how far she is from the actual threat. Watch this shit. Now, do you see this? Do you see this? This is why I said, number one, fucking Starsky and Hutch up here in the front, they're way too fucking close together. Number two, motherfucking Big Shirley, or from Laverne, not Laverne and Shirley, Shirley from What's Happening. She's coming up behind them with her gun out, and that's okay to have your gun out if you tuck ready. But why are you aiming your gun? I don't give a fuck how crack of a shot you may be. You ain't hitting shit but your partner or somebody else trying to aim your gun this far back. And here's why I'm saying that is because usually what happens, the first time you hear some gunfire, everybody starts shooting. Everybody starts shooting. Once they hear that first pop, everybody else is popping off too. So it's like if she's this far back and she clearly has both her partners in direct gunfire from where she's standing, why would she even aim her gun? Even if this was Angelina Jolie and the bitch is gonna curve her bullet. Bitch, you got so much space over to the right. So much space over to the left. Crisscross. Bitch, you so far back, you could cha-cha real smooth now. And turn it out. That bitch could do the Casper slide back there and wouldn't shit happen. We ain't got to worry about nothing. And she got her gun pointed and aimed. She got her gun out and aimed behind her two officers. This is why friendly fire and getting caught up in the crossfire and all that shit happens, because she's not even thinking. This is lack of training, and she's just not thinking tactically right now at all.
Drop the gun!
Look, drop the gun! Look at how far back she is. And here's the other thing. She's scared because she ain't even moved up. Now, here's where the tactical training comes in. For those of you who may not know, in a active shooter situation or something like that, or if you're in a building clearing situation or you're clearing a particular area, there is a team formation. It's two of them. There are two team formations that you can get in. One is called a T and one is called a diamond. And when you think about a T, you got 1, 2, 3. And then you got 4. You got a person who's bringing up the rear, checking everybody's back, and those 3 people up front, one is looking right, one is looking left, and one is looking straight ahead. That's what you have. You have a T formation, right? UFO rolling T. You got a T formation that you can use to tactically assess and address any type of threat in a particular area or building, whatever the case may be. The other one is a diamond. Same concept, except you have 4 points. You have front, you have one offset to the back, to the left, one offset to the right, and then you have one person bringing up the rear. Or some people call it a wedge. But that's what you have. You got the T and you got the diamond. The thing is, when you're moving like that, you are spaced like that properly for a reason, so that this shit don't happen. If you're the person in the T that's bringing up the rear, you ain't concerned about who's in front of you. You're concerned about what's behind you and what may come up behind you. That's what you're looking for. If you're on the ass end of the T, you're bringing up the rear, which means I'm watching these 3 guys that's in front of me. Who's watching my ass? I'm watching their ass. That's essentially what you're doing. And in this situation here, they could have just, because it ain't 4 of them, they still could have just been in a line and just been spread out a little bit, maybe even staggered a little bit, so that they could be dynamic enough to move to actually address the threat that is in front of them. Because you never know, like I said earlier, about what may come into view beyond the target. And sometimes you can take away a shot from somebody, or sometimes you can give a shot to somebody based on what's behind that target, what's in that backdrop. That's something that you're looking at. You can clearly see already you got a cop car up front already. So that means that there's a cop, you got a friendly already up front in between you and between you, the assailant, and there's a cop behind them. So you need to definitely be in some type of tactical formation so you can actually see what's going on and be able to dynamically address whatever changes that may come up. Yep, that's very true, UFO. And that's another thing about the T, you can change that. So you can be running the T, And if for some reason you going through a building, you clearing a building, and you start hearing bangs going the other way, the T is moving like this. It don't stop and then turn around like that. It literally flips. That T goes like this. The rear becomes the front, and you start moving that way in the direction of the threat. That's exactly what happens. Those people on the ends, the people on both ends of the T, they address the doors. They address each doors and what's going on. If you have to go into a room, then that T, you roll into that room, slicing the pie, and you clear in that room. It's a lot of different wheels. There's a lot of different ways to do this shit, but you got to know what it is that you're doing and know how to do it, and you got to be trained to do it. This shit takes practice to learn and to be able to execute at a high level. But the shit works. Look at this. This is sickening. I was sitting here literally when I was watching this earlier today. I was saying out loud, like, move out of the way, move over. What you doing? That's what I was doing. Look at them. Look at these two motherfuckers like they holding hands, like they walking each other home from school. Look at how close they are. Why are they so close to each other? They're literally sharing the sidewalk. Literally sharing the sidewalk. Now, if that was me, if I got the long gun, I'm either gonna address this guy straight ahead, or I'm gonna tell my partner, move over to the flank left. The reason why I wouldn't flank right is because I got a cop car right there in the backdrop. There's no cop car to the right of my threat, so I'm gonna have my partner flank left. I'm like, hey man, take about 4 or 5 steps over to the left in case this guy starts moving. And I would push him over some more if I need to. I would tell her ass in the back to either hold up the rear and motherfucking wait, or pull your ass up here and go even further out. And then I would spread out a little bit because you don't know what this guy's going to do, or have her flank right. But if I got the long gun, I want that dead shot straight ahead because I'm the most accurate out of this whole formation. But they definitely could have covered this target a whole lot better than what the hell they did. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Chambering rounds, walking up behind you, pointing your gun with your partners in front of you. What the fuck kind of training have y'all had? But I'm telling you right now, if I got the long gun, I ain't got to run up on this motherfucker. I got his ass in my red dot, and I'm going to tell this motherfucker, hey, man, if he raises his arm up, I'm dropping him. But, hey, call it. Tell him to put it down. Tell him drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. That motherfucker move that hand up and don't drop that gun. That long gun is going to do his ass in better than any fucking handgun that's out there. I don't understand what the fuck they was thinking, but the long gun should have been the one with that straight ahead. I'm going for this kill. I'm getting this kill shot here, goddamn, because I got the best fucking weapon and I'm in the best position to do it. Nigga, you still chambering rounds, and bitch, you behind me and might shoot me in the ass. Let me see here. Right.
Drop the gun!
Look, she's still in between them. Now she's moving. And here's my thing. She moving because them shots ringing out and she's scared. And that's why the last thing I want if I'm on the police force is a woman behind me with a loaded gun and serving as my partner out in these streets. Now, if we working on some forensic stuff inside, we interviewing a suspect, fine. But out here in these streets, I can't do it. Still in between. And I'm telling you right this, she using them as a shield. In case these motherfuckers get to shooting, I'm gonna be behind him. So shit, I'm good. That's what she thinking.
Back up, Bart! Back up! Do not move! Not move! Where's the gun?
Finally got in position.
Stop, man!
But here's the problem with her moving when she moved. Let me show y'all again where she fucked up at.
Drop the gun!
Uh-huh. Backing her ass up, scared as hell. Now watch this. Watch where she moves to and watch where her gun is aimed. Or her gun is lined up at. She could have shot that dude in the leg. But then look, what's behind her target? Another fucking police officer, another fucking car. So what if this dude would have held onto the gun and started shooting? And she would have just started shooting again.
Stop resist! Stop resisting!
She got her hands on him. Please tell me why. Is she comforting this motherfucker while he's fucking performing this arrest? Is that what she's doing? Is she comforting this motherfucker? Because I don't understand. I just don't understand why her hand is on him now. Y'all tell me. Why is her hand on him? Is she putting him under arrest? Or is she just giving him support? Y'all tell me why. I don't understand why she would have her hand on this officer who's actually trying to put the cuffs on this guy.
Goddamn rules, nigga.
There she go.
Give us the other arm. Problem that way. Give us the other arm.
Now here's my thing. I'm gonna say this, goddammit, because it needs to be said. This instance right here is definitely a moment where you can put a knee across those fucking shoulder blades or on his back. Definitely a moment where you can do that. But because motherfuckers thinking about George Floyd, don't want to do it. Definitely a moment for you to put a knee across them shoulder blades on that dude's back. Fuck what you heard. Get that arm up. And until you do, this knee is on your motherfucking back. Plain and simple.
Goddamn rules, nigga.
Talking shit too.
Give us the other arm. Problem that way. Give us the other arm.
You can't give you the other arm. You know why? Because
He broke my collarbone.
he pulling his shirt for.
South Precinct officers were on the scene within 5 minutes and confronted King as he walked down Antioch Pike. They repeatedly commanded him to drop his gun. King refused. Officer Dylan Ramos, who graduated from the police academy last August, and Officer Cheryl Kinchlow, who graduated in March of this year, fired during the confrontation.
And that explains the abrasion on your palm. Not one, but two rookies who ain't even been on the force a year yet. Well, he should be close to a year because it was last August for him. But she just got on in March.
The actions of Officer Kinchlow in firing two shots, given the vantage point represented by her video, are under review by the police department.
And goddamn right they should be. Because she could have shot one of her fellow officers. Like a motherfucker.
Drop the gun!
This, King Nate, this like just happened like on the 3rd. This was 2 days ago. This was 2 days ago that this happened. So it's not like, they got to review that shit. Do I think she should get fired? I'm not going to go that far and say she should get fired. But she should definitely have to go through firearms training again. She should definitely have to go through that shit and qualify and all that shit all over again. And she needs some tactical training. She needs to spend some time with an FTO officer. She needs to maybe go to some SWAT trainings and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I never really understood with certain departments. Your SWAT team are supposed to be like your best of the best. Why don't you have your rookies, your rookie officers participate in SWAT? Not to put them on the SWAT team, but when SWAT got a training, them motherfuckers should have to go. And not to say they go to every training, but they should have SWAT trainings where you bring out those officers. Bring y'all ass out here to see what we do, why we do it, in case you're ever on a call with us or you are on a scene that we arrive to. You will have an idea of what we do, why we do it, and how we gonna do it. Because you never know. Somebody might be sick that day and we might need you to suit up. Somebody may not be there that day and we may need you to, somebody could be on vacation and we might need you to suit up. You never, ever, ever know. So, that being said, that was pretty much it. I really wanted to just highlight a lot of the opportunities from the officer's perspective. Give you guys some information on what to do when there is an active shooter. It's really important to have an idea on what you're going to do at your workplace and at your job in case shit ever does go left, because you never know. And you don't want to be in a situation to where something does go wrong, somebody gets to stabbing somebody or a shooter, and you don't know what to do. Because I promise you this, when you don't have muscle memory and you don't have training, you tend to do nothing in these situations. You freeze up like a deer in the headlights. See that car coming and just keep looking at it, because you don't have any type of muscle memory that kick in. Oh no, you said she didn't fire shit. Oh yeah, she did fire twice. She fired her gun twice. She sure did, VG. Nope. But it's just one of those things to where I just tell people all the time, have a plan and understand what it is that you're going to do, so that if something does happen, you at least have something working. Plans always change. You always need to have a plan A, of course, but you also need to have a plan B and C. Because you never know what can go wrong. You never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. At your job, you should already have your hiding spots. You should already have your planned escape routes from any position in the building where you work. So, with that being said, it's just one of those things where I want you to always be prepared as best as you possibly can. Will it always work? Nope, but it's better to have some kind of a plan as opposed to no plan at all. Just saying. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show up. Be right at 2 hours, which is good. I want to thank everybody for participating in the show tonight. Please click that like button, click that share button. Shout out to everybody that donated. If you are watching this on the replay, you can still hit that donate button and hit your boy up. Shout out to my man Oganda. Just hit your boy with $20. Appreciate you, brother. That's what's up. You guys, I appreciate y'all supporting me, man. Y'all been doing this for quite some time now, and I really do thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys for doing it. It is truly a pleasure to be able to just come here, do what we do, talk the stuff we talk, and then have you guys also support me too while doing it. Man, I appreciate it. To that guy that was out there, Antonio King, plain and simple.
Well, he died doing what he loved. Getting shot.
He sure did. And always remember, Antonio.
Y'all can't fuck with the police. Y'all can't fuck with the police. Y'all can't fuck with the police.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Shout out to everybody in Soto Nation. Shout out to my amazing mods. Shout out to my brother Tommy. Shout out to all of y'all that support the show. All of y'all that click that like button, click that subscribe button. Send this to somebody, man. And if you got any questions We can always maybe do a follow-up show to this. If you do have some questions about, what I talked about today, please let me remind you to have a plan, guys. I don't want anybody to get caught in a situation where they don't have a plan and they wind up being a victim. That's all I'm saying. You gonna die on your, come home on your shield, like they said at 300. Die well. Don't just be somebody who just didn't have any kind of plan and it's just another lamb being led to the slaughter. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, you guys have a great night. Please leave me some comments in the comment section. If you got any questions or whatever, please do so. Leave it in the comment section as well. I do read the comments. And if there's any other questions I can answer for you guys, please let me know. I love y'all. Peace. And I'm out.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's two of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything.
Oh, wait. Mr. Maxwell asked a question. He said, where was she positioned when she took those shots? She took those shots to the right of the officer. And the problem is that those officers were in front of her. And those officers, because when you're shooting, approaching a threat, one of the key things that you have to do is you have to keep moving. You don't, like James Yeager says, don't stand on the X. Don't just stand in one spot, present your weapon, and bang, bang, bang. You want to be moving. So with her being behind them and she's shooting, that officer in being engaged in the gunfight with that guy there, that with the threat, he could have moved because he's not responsible for what's behind him. She's responsible for what's in front of her. So therefore, he could have moved right into her line of sight and she could have shot the shit out of him. Also, the officer that was on the other side of that person too was also at risk. So it's definitely something to be reviewed. Not to say that she was trying to shoot him, not to say that she didn't shoot him, fortunate enough. But there was a high risk of one of her fellow officers getting shot. So I just wanted to address that. Mr. Maxwell asked a great question. I just saw it over on the United Guns of America. So definitely she should have been way more aware of where she was in that situation. And once she decided to pull that trigger, you always have to look at your target and what's beyond it. And she had a fellow officer in between her and her target that could have moved into her line of fire very easily. So that's why there's that shooting on her part and her actions are under review. Because if she's gonna shoot that dude, she should have been in a way better position or just not fired her weapon at all, because she didn't have a shot, or a clean shot, I should say. So there we go. Peace.
Politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff, anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy.
Thank you, Eric Mueller. I appreciate you.